All right, welcome to Creator Hardware, and well, this is some janky jank. So what I've got here is my trip light UPS battery backup. Now I've not deployed this because, quite frankly, it's incredibly loud. So if you don't know anything about me, my home lab is literally right next to the desk I edit videos on. It's literally right behind this camera over there. I can't have loud, noisy things in my videos. So unfortunately, I have to make sure my home lab, multiple servers, stays quiet. And unfortunately, this trip light is loud, like incredibly loud, like server by itself loud. And that's unfortunately something I didn't see in the reviews when I bought it. But on the other hand of it, it's also expensive. It's a really nice UPS. They work well. It's just too loud. So of course, I do what anybody in this space does, is I throw Noctua at it. The problem was, Noctua wasn't any quieter. Unfortunately, that did not work. The first fan I put in there, I wired directly, and it sounded identical to the old fan. Amazon, being Amazon, screwed me a little bit on that, and they took a week to send me a fan that was supposed to be here the next day. So after installing this, soldered in, no connector, it was as loud as the other one. Now Noctuas all come with these low noise adapters. It's basically just a resistor, and you plug it into the fan, it slows the fan down a little bit. Unfortunately, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, took 6 of them to not make it scream. I'm gonna plug it in direct, and if maybe it might pick up on this camera, I'm gonna plug the fan in directly because it's running in the background. Cooling is going to be affected. The noisiest thing in this office right now is my editing PC, and that's because my EVGA fan and my power supply is noisy for some reason. It comes and goes, but that's the noisiest thing in this room. But now it's all quiet, so I can rack mount it and have a powerful enough rack mount solution for UPS. I have a UPS on my server, and well, it's good enough for doing loads on 1 or 2 servers, but if I loaded up all 3 of my servers, it would be screaming. Like, it can't support a gaming PC at all. So now that it is noise free, I can go ahead and put it in my rack, transfer all the power plugs to this instead of the other UPS, and finally deploy this, because it's been sitting in my rack for a year and a half unused. Now, just FYI, be really careful taking one of these apart. Transformers, etc. It's a power supply. Disconnect your battery and be really careful. Now, a couple things you're going to need to do if you take this on. You're going to need shrink tubing. You're going to need a soldering iron. You're going to need solder. You're going to need some sort of heat gun to shrink the solder. And if you want to have it hot pluggable, you're going to need to sacrifice a fan connector so it plugs in and out. That's how I did it. I soldered in a fan connector on the board side because that's soldered directly to the PCB. That was not the maximum number of low power adapters I had. I sacrificed 2 of them, soldering them in, and it wasn't enough. So if you're going to do this, get the 3-wire, lower RPM, Noctua fan, and well, find you a bunch of low noise adapters. You can buy them. I just happen to have from every Noctua fan I've ever installed. Probably going to shorten the life of the UPS just because of less cooling. I don't care. I don't have to buy another one right now. Is this a fire hazard? No. Honestly, if a resistor burns out, it's going to burn out and disconnect, and you just have live 12 volt on one end. Unless you have some high voltage thing in there going that's going to touch, it's not going to do anything. So it's not really a concern for it to catch on fire or anything. So hope you enjoyed my jankiest low noise solution. As always, thanks for watching. This is Creator Hardware.